At the 1956 Golden Globe Awards ceremony, while she was on stage, a voice rose from the crowd. "Marilyn, you're my only hope." What Marilyn did at that moment is still remembered 68 years later. That night, Hollywood's brightest stars gathered at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. Marilyn Monroe had been nominated for Best Actress for her film, Bus Stop. When she walked onto the stage in her white dress, the applause was thunderous. But in the crowd, a small drama was unfolding that everyone missed. 16-year-old Sarah Mitchell sat in her wheelchair in the back, trying to see Marilyn. Nobody knew yet that the biggest tears of the night would be shed for Sarah. Sarah's story went back 6 months. She couldn't use her legs due to polio. During the months she spent in a hospital bed, her only comfort was Marilyn Monroe movies. She had watched Some Like It Hot 47 times. She knew every line of Gentlemen Prefer Blondes by heart. Marilyn wasn't just an actress to her. She was her reason to hold on to life. That night, her mother had spent all their savings to bring Sarah to the awards ceremony. "Maybe if you see Marilyn, your spirits will lift," she had said. But Sarah's problem wasn't just physical. Doctors had given Sarah 2 months to live. The disease was spreading through her body. But she hadn't told anyone, fighting just to see Marilyn once. When Marilyn came on stage at the awards ceremony, Sarah's eyes lit up. Her wheelchair was in the very back. She couldn't see. When the people around her stood up, her view was completely blocked. That's when what Sarah did changed everything. Sarah shouted with all her strength, "Marilyn, you're my only hope." Her voice was shaky but determined. "I can't see you, but I'm here." The hall suddenly fell silent. Marilyn held the microphone, looking toward where the voice came from. Cameras followed her. The 1,500-person hall held its breath. Tears appeared in Marilyn's eyes. She brought the microphone to her mouth. "Sweetheart, where are you?" Sarah's trembling voice. "Here, in the back, in the wheelchair." At that moment, Marilyn Monroe made a decision that would go down in history. She put her award down at the edge of the stage. She took off her high heels, and she began to cut through the hall. The crowd parted in two. Cameras followed Marilyn. In her sparkling dress, barefoot, she was walking through 1,500 people. When Marilyn reached Sarah, the scene that unfolded would become one of the most emotional moments in television history. Marilyn knelt down next to Sarah. Tears were streaming from her eyes. "Hello, beautiful," she said in a soft voice. "I'm Marilyn." Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "I know. You actually came here." Marilyn took Sarah's hands. "Of course I came. You're my most important fan." The hall was completely silent. The only sound was the clicking of camera shutters. Marilyn leaned toward Sarah. "I'm going to tell you a secret. Sometimes I get scared too. Sometimes I lose hope. But I get strength from strong people like you." Sarah was surprised. "I'm not strong. I'm a sick person." Marilyn smiled. "No, sweetheart. You might be the strongest person, because you wake up every day with hope." Then what Marilyn did made everyone there cry. Marilyn stood up and addressed the hall. "Tonight I won an award, but there's someone much more important than me here." Sarah Mitchell applause began. But Marilyn wasn't finished yet. "Sarah, your mother told me your story, and I'm accepting this award in your name, because you're my inspiration." Sarah started crying. "But this is your award." Marilyn put the award in Sarah's hands. "No, beautiful. This is your award, the Courage Award." The hall was giving a standing ovation, but Marilyn wasn't done yet. She asked for the microphone and stood next to Sarah. "Everyone here tonight should know this," Marilyn said. "Sarah taught me the most valuable lesson of my life, the power of hope." Sarah was crying in her wheelchair. Marilyn continued, "And I'm making a commitment. I will cover Sarah's medical expenses." But Marilyn's real surprise was yet to come. "Also," Marilyn said, "I'm inviting Sarah to all my movie sets. She'll be my special guest." Sarah couldn't believe it. "Really?" Marilyn leaned down and hugged Sarah. "Really? And one more thing. I'm going to make your movie, your courage story." The hall went crazy. Everyone was crying, cameras kept rolling. Sarah's mother ran to Marilyn. "My God, how do I thank you?" Marilyn hugged Sarah's mother too. "I should thank you. Sarah reminded me what it means to be in this business." For the rest of that night, Marilyn never left Sarah's side. They ate dinner together. Marilyn told Sarah Hollywood stories. But the real miracle of the story happened in the following months. Marilyn kept her word. She covered Sarah's treatment. She found the best doctors. She spent money on experimental treatments. 6 months later, a miracle happened. Sarah's disease stopped. Doctors couldn't explain it. "Maybe it's the power of hope," said the head doctor. Marilyn Monroe gave this girl a reason to live. Sarah slowly began to be able to stand up. A year later, Sarah was walking. 2 years later, she was running. Marilyn was there every step of the way. "Darling, you're my lucky star," Marilyn would say. On the set of Some Like It Hot, Sarah worked as an assistant alongside Marilyn. But the most beautiful part of the story was yet to come. In 1961, Marilyn made a documentary about Sarah's story. She called it The Girl Who Never Gave Up. The documentary won awards at film festivals. Sarah was now famous, but she always remained grateful to Marilyn. "She saved my life," Sarah would say, "not just with money, by giving hope." When Marilyn died in 1962, Sarah spoke at her funeral. "She taught me life. Now I will teach others." Sarah founded the Marilyn Monroe Foundation, an organization that helps sick children. And what Sarah does today would make Marilyn proud. In 2024, Sarah Mitchell is 84 years old. She's still the president of the Marilyn Monroe Foundation. She's been helping sick children for 68 years. "I think about Marilyn every day," she says. "She taught me not just to live, but to live for others." The foundation has helped 50,000 children so far. Marilyn's mark is in all their stories. After that night in 1956, Sarah's life completely changed. But not just Sarah's. The lives of millions of people who watched that night changed too. The compassion Marilyn showed Sarah was imitated around the world. Celebrities began spending more time with their fans. A tradition called Sarah's Rule was established in Hollywood. Every celebrity should help someone in need among their fans. Marilyn spent $500,000 on Sarah's treatment. $5 million in today's money. But money was just the beginning. She visited Sarah every week. She read books to her. They watched movies together. On days when Sarah's morale was low, Marilyn would come and make her laugh. "Marilyn was running around sets," says Sarah, "but she never neglected me. I was her real friend." Sarah's recovery wasn't just a medical miracle. She had also grown stronger psychologically. Marilyn had taught her not just the will to live, but that she had a purpose in life. When Sarah started walking again in 1958, she took her first steps on Marilyn's set. Cameras recorded that moment. Marilyn hugged Sarah while crying. "You're my miracle," Marilyn said, "but the real miracle is the strength inside you." From that day on, Sarah began taking small roles in Marilyn's films. She didn't want to be an actress, but she wanted to be near Marilyn. In Some Like It Hot, Sarah was assistant to Marilyn's stunt double. In The Misfits, she worked as script supervisor. In every project, Marilyn taught her new things. Most importantly, she taught Sarah to help other people. "You're strong now," Marilyn would say. "Use your strength for others." In 1960, Sarah began visiting sick children. She would tell them her own story. "I was like you too," she would say, "but I didn't give up." Marilyn would accompany these visits. The two would tour hospitals together, giving hope to children. "Marilyn wasn't just a beautiful woman," says Sarah. "She was a beautiful soul." When Marilyn died in 1962, Sarah was devastated. She had lost her closest friend, but Marilyn's last wish gave Sarah strength. Before Marilyn died, she had told Sarah, "If something happens to me, you continue this work. Keep giving hope to children." Sarah kept that promise. She founded the Marilyn Monroe Foundation. The first year she could only help 10 children, but she never gave up. As the years passed, the foundation grew. Celebrities began donating. Sarah's story was inspiring. In the 1980s, the foundation became one of the largest children's aid organizations in America. Sarah was now a globally recognized figure, but she always remained humble. "I'm just applying what Marilyn taught me," she would say. In the 1990s, Sarah wrote a book about Marilyn, My Angel in White. The book became a bestseller. She donated all proceeds to the foundation. In the book, Sarah told about Marilyn's unknown sides, how compassionate, how generous she was. People only remember Marilyn as a sex symbol, Sarah wrote, but she was the woman with the biggest heart. In 2006, Sarah was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. She didn't win, but even the nomination was significant. Marilyn would be proud, Sarah said. She taught me everything. Today, Sarah is 84 years old, but still active. She works at the foundation every day. She still visits sick children. In her office stands the award Marilyn gave her that night. It has a new plaque, to Sarah Mitchell for the power of hope, Marilyn Monroe. I look at that award every morning, says Sarah, and I thank Marilyn. She didn't just give me life, she gave me a life worth living. Sarah's story is Marilyn Monroe's true legacy. She left something much more valuable than beauty, fame, and money, a tradition of compassion. Today there are thousands of Sarahs in the world, people inspired by Marilyn's gesture that night, people who help others, who give hope. That night in 1956, Marilyn Monroe didn't just win an award, she gave humanity the most beautiful lesson. True strength is giving strength to others, and that lesson is still alive. In every breath Sarah Mitchell takes, in every child the foundation helps, Marilyn's spirit continues to live. Marilyn Monroe died, but her love didn't die. It lives in Sarah's life, in the foundation's work, in the smiles of thousands of children. This was perhaps Marilyn's greatest performance, not on stage, but in real life, not acting, but real love. And 68 years later, it's still being applauded.